This is the DZ Report. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't you know I love haters? Now, a man in China reportedly refused to care for his son after discovering he's not actually his biological offspring and left him at preschool. The 5-year-old, who is being identified under the pseudonym Xiao Rui, was abandoned last week by his father, who dropped him off for school per usual but failed to return to collect him in the evening, according to local reports. Zio had a backpack with him containing only a change of clothes and a mobile phone, reported the Xinzai Morning Daily via the South China Morning Post. The boy's teacher, whom the publication is referred to by his surname Chen, reportedly tried to contact his father. He spoke to Chen and refused to pick up the child, stating that he wasn't the boy's biological father, according to a paternity test, and that Zhao was now the school's problem. Chen visited Zhao's home later and found it to be empty, and his mother's whereabouts were unknown. Local reports said they contacted police, who made contact with Zhao's grandfather and uncle, but they also allegedly refused to pick the boy up. Now, Nanning radio and television station reported that the youngster was expected to be picked up by his biological mother this week. Users on Chinese microblogging site Weibo were outraged by the news, expressing their concern for the boy and anger for his father on the platform. Look at his innocent back, is really poignant. Other people's children are pampered like babies, but he has to face the cruelty of the adult world, another user commented. Well, his mom should have never had her legs open for somebody else. See, they try to tell you this stuff happens just in the black community or in any other community, right? But as soon as it happens in the Asian community, which of them being Chinese, hey, it is what it is. She should have never been laying up with somebody else. You know, I'm sorry for the child, but see, women have got to stop doing that. They've got to stop thinking men are supposed to be their savior when you're the one who laid down with a man that you knew you laid down with, and you even knew that that man wasn't the father, but yet you still had him take care of the kid like it was his. And see, not only does this happen with black women, this happened with Asian women too. So I wanted to bring y'all a story. I wanted to bring y'all up a story, you know, that didn't have nothing to do with us, because you know how they always have us in the news. You know, if this was a black man, oh, it would have been all crazy. So that's the thing. And see, people have got to stop with this bogus stuff by saying that, oh, there's no such thing as prejudice or racism. It's all in your mind. It's systematically been put in. Systemically, it's been put in. It does exist. And we've got to stop acting stupid and ignorant to the facts. You know, the facts are, and these are the facts. The facts are, sorry about that. The facts are, you gotta, as a woman, women have to start being more truthful. This boy is going to be traumatized for the rest of his life, because now he wants to know why his dad won't pick him up, why his dad won't care for him. See, me, I mean, you can't relate to that. Would I have done the same thing? Absolutely. If it ain't my child, I'm out of there. Because if she didn't have the decency to tell you that's not your child, what makes you think she respects you at the end of the day? When she doesn't. She doesn't respect you at all. And this is the BS that goes on that they don't tell you about. So it's sad though for the kid. But I mean, hey, listen. It's a cold world out there, man. Cold world. Now, now, in the words of a trans woman who basically returned to life as a man, basically takes aim at the activist doctor who turned his life upside down. Coming out of their transition was like leaving the twilight zone, but the rest of society is still in it. After living nearly a decade of his life as a transgender woman named Brianna, Brian Wagner ultimately came to realize his transition had been a mistake. In February, the 31-year-old made the decision to detransition back to his biological gender and live once again as a man. It was basically like medical professionals cheering on a girl with bulimia for puking up her lunch when her ribs are already poking out, he said. Of the estrogen treatment he was put on for years, there's a lot of money to be made by doctors here. They see the dollar signs, and in the end, money talks. Wagner reached out to the Post after reading an article in June that profiled two young women who regretted transitioning to men in their teens. One of those detransitioners, Chloe Cole, who had a double mastectomy, is now campaigning for a Florida rule that will block Medicaid funds from paying for medical interventions in cases like hers. Growing up in San Gabriel Valley, California, the son of divorced parents, Wagner said he was always a typical boy. When I was a kid, I liked Legos and trucks, he said. I never wanted to wear my sister's clothes. I never wanted to play with Barbies. But Wagner also knew he was gay, something that was frowned upon in his father's household where he lived as a teen. Wagner said his dad is a Vietnam veteran and a very alpha male and super macho kind of guy. He learned at a young age that being gay is a terrible thing. He was so paranoid about him finding out that he was. As a closeted teen, Wagner began dabbling in drugs, and by the time he transferred from a junior college to the University of La Verne in California to study sociology at age 20, he said, he was regularly using marijuana, ecstasy, Adderall, and cocaine that he got from friends and dealers at his school. He said he began experiencing withdrawal, was staying up for days on end, and even contemplated suicide. It was also around that time, he said, that he developed an addiction to online porn. Gay porn led him to transgender fetish content, which sparked a sudden feeling of gender dysphoria, also described as a discomfort within one's body. Before he discovered this bizarre subgenre of pornography, the idea of being a woman never crossed his mind. Never, it just came out of nowhere, really. Him stating this. Desperate for a lifeline, in early 2012, he started searching for information about the transgender movement on YouTube and found a clinical social worker based in Los Angeles who made videos about trans people. He made an appointment to see her. During their first in-person session, he said she immediately told him he could be transgender. I just thought maybe I had some sort of weird fetish, Wagner said, but I went to go see this therapist and she told me I'm really a woman trapped in a man's body and all my other problems were really because I was transgender. After just a couple therapy sessions, the therapist gave Wagner, then 22, a referral letter to see a doctor in Hollywood who wrote him a prescription for estrogen. On his first visit, he said, this therapist knew I was addicted to drugs. She knew I had severe depression, but we didn't go over any of that. It was just about hormones. Along with regular hormone therapy, Wagner had laser hair removal on his entire body and legally changed his name to Brianna. At the time, transition seemed like a way to escape his suppressed identity. The idea that I'd be a heterosexual woman and not a gay man was just really appealing to me, he said. I was so sick of being Brian the fag. I just liked the idea of being literally anyone else. He was also rewarded socially for transitioning to a woman at college, where he remained a student until he was 25. At my college, I was basically like a minor celebrity for being trans, Wagner said. I got a lot of praise and people suddenly wanted to be my friend. But in his personal life, Wagner was struggling. Transition made all my problem worse. He said he got into even harder drugs, including heroin, after graduating from college. He went to rehab 4 times before finally getting sober and holding down a steady job, which he declined to disclose out of concern he would be targeted by the gender activist community. After he started tuning out woke political beliefs on social media and listening to contrarian media figures like Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, Wagner said he realized he no longer wanted to be Brianna. Once I got off drugs and got a real job, I just had a clear head and started feeling the new gender dysphoria all over again. He said, I was looking at myself in the mirror and looking at my childhood photos as a little boy and started thinking, what have I done? So in February, Wagner went back to living as a man after spending a third of his life as a woman. He cut his hair, stopped hormone therapy, and changed his name back. Fortunately, he never got surgery, but said he suffers from painful urination and an inflamed pelvic area due to his estrogen treatment and is being monitored for osteoporosis, a known side effect of hormone therapy. After years of repressing his true self, he has finally come to terms with who he is. I really reconnected with being myself and accepted the fact that I'm gay, Wagner said. He even came out to his father, who he said has fully accepted him. My dad and I are cool now. He knows I'm gay and he doesn't even care. Had I been honest from the get-go, I do think it could have possibly prevented me from going down this path. In retrospect, Wagner blames medical professionals for glossing over the other personal crises he was experiencing, like internalized homophobia and drug addiction. My therapist really was an activist who also happened to be a psychologist. He said, I probably should have been put in a psychiatric hospital, not given estrogen. I just needed someone to listen to me, but this woman had me go and change my body's chemistry and my whole life. Now that he's content living as a man, Wagner said he hopes his tale serves as a warning to others. The reason I decided to speak out is because here in California, there really are no barriers to transition. He said he's even considered pursuing legal action against the therapist and doctor who helped him coast through his transition without ever investigating what was really going on under the surface. I just don't want to see people have the same bad experience that I had. He said, I hope someone will hear this story and really think about what they're doing and get therapy. So basically, man, it's like this. If you're gay, you're gay. You don't have to do a whole gender change. You don't have to wear women clothes. And listen, I had a family member who was gay. But guess what? He didn't dress up like no female. He ain't dressing no heels. At the end of the day, he was a man who loved men. And he said it, look, man, I'm a man. I'm not finna wear no damn purse and some damn 6-inch stilettos or whatever you call them. I'm not wearing that stuff. So he still kept his masculinity. He just loved men. And that's the problem. They're trying to put this notion out here that it's okay to cross-dress. It's okay to do that. Well, this man didn't need to cross-dress. All he needed to do was talk to somebody. Sometimes talking to somebody helps more than it hinders. You know, if you want to be, gay or you want to be homosexual, whatever you call the word, you can be it. Just be it over there. Don't try to put it as if... Don't try to change it by putting it over your head that, trying to put it over your head that it is what it is. I'm going to go along with this. But if you would have been asking questions and actually looked into it, you would have never had to endure that. And then you told your dad loved it. Like, a lot of your family ain't going to be mad. Like, when I found out that family member was gay, I told him, like, man, what's up? You still could go chill. So, That's all I got, man. Tell me what you think in the comment section about the boy being left at school, and then finally, so make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share this. So to me, I think you know I don't believe you should get your genitals cut off at a young age. Live your life first. Then, if you want to do it, once you've come to grips to it, then get it done. That's all I'm saying. So, thank you for listening, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can leave a so like I said, man, and if you guys like what you hear and everything, hey, you guys love what you hear. And you could go to the description box, hit that link, man, to donate. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys, man, for your love and blessings and listening. We're out. Deezy.